Shalawam, shalawam. Shalawam, shalawam. All right. First and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord, told elect 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yeramiah Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Let me see if I could get this brother in here. I actually don't see the brother's name. All right, but it was this brother that had a question about 2/3 coming back, right? And let me see if I can get him on my other account. And this would predominantly be a Q&A, right? Let me see, man. What's his name? Yahawah. I'm going to share him alive. Alright, share the brother to live. Okay. Alright, shalawam to all the brothers and sisters coming in. May Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham, you and your household. Alright, and we broke this down at camp today. I broke it down, but I'll break it down again. Alright, 2/3 coming back in the kingdom. Alright, so we'll get into it. We'll go more in depth than what I did at camp. But I'm trying to wait for the brother Raya to come through, because he asked the question, as you can see right here. And the brother asked the question. He said, Shalawam Malak, you brought up a video stating that 2/3 will come back through the loins later in the kingdom. Break that down. All right, I said kind of do a live on it. So, you know, and that's why we deal with brothers. That's why we teach, we reteach, we overteach, we come back and we revisit certain topics that we may have dealt with before, because everybody might have not been there. They might have not got it. They might have not watched the breakdowns. They might have not got it, you know. So we're going to constantly go through those things. So I'm going to get a brother maybe like 30 minutes to see if he can come through. Maybe he's at work or something. All right, but in the meantime, in between time, we'll take any questions and answers. All right, and we'll deal with, I said 30 minutes, Kawam, 30 minutes. We'll deal with that. In 30 minutes, we're going to deal with 2/3 coming back into the kingdom. I'm trying to get a brother some time to get up in here, because he asked the question. Once again, the brother Yahawah, you know, and the brothers out there in Chicago, I don't believe he's under GMS, but he may follow the doctrine a little bit, right? But it would to anybody looking out from the outside, right, it would push you to, hey, get with Great Millstone, because you're like, oh man, these guys got the truth. They got the full understanding, right? You know, it wouldn't be those, guys out from the outside talking about my library and shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the comments judging me on my library, man. You want to see my library? Hold up, man. Hold up, man. Somebody want to see my library, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me take you out here, man. What you need? We got the kids' books. We got the kids. We got, my boy done read all these. I really want to sell them. All right? We got the, you know what I'm saying? Let me stop. Zaquan. Nah, I ain't got too many. All right? I ain't got too much going on. Because the main book that we need is that one right there. Is that Holy Bible. Hey, he's trying to come up. I was trying to bring you up. I don't know what happened. It had you there, but then it took you away. Oh well, man, TikTok be tripping. Guess. All right, I sent you. I sent you one. It's like restricting my guess. Show available spot. Yo, I'm really trying to bring you up, but it's like not letting you come up. Maybe if I'm gonna go to grid. Yo, what the freak? TikTok, stop tripping. Let the brothers come up. It's not even showing. It's not showing you there. Like I can bring you up. All right, there we go. This app be tripping, man.
Hey, Shalawam, bro. Yahawah, Yasharahla.
Shalawam, Bahasham, Yasharahla.
Hey, let me turn on my camera. Hold on for a minute. I want to show you. Hold on for a minute. Hey, put me on the big screen.
All right.
Hey, put me on the big screen, Yeah, so you know I'm at downtown. Yeah, see that, man. Yeah, I had to poke fun of you, man. I said, where your library at? I knew you gonna see it and stuff.
You supposed to have a bigger library than me anyway. You know? Dude.
Other side of this beautiful city, man. Yeah, it's the North Loop, man. And stuff, so you know. Yeah. Yeah, hold on, let me see if you could hear me with the headphones on. Hold on for a minute. Alright. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, I knew I had to poke fun at you, man, and stuff. You know, the library thing and stuff. Yeah, man. But no, man, that's all the, it's just joking aside, man. But yeah, all we need is those 80 books, man. That's about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, I like those kids' books, man. Hey, those are dope library, man. Shit. Hey,
Yeah.
those kids' books be having some pennies in it, man. Seriously, those kids' books be having some gems up in there if you pay attention to them and stuff.
Yep. And I'm getting them away from like the pictures, and now he reading more novels type joints.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm joking with. Hey, the elder got to have his Ralph Lauren on and stuff.
You got it. Luxury, expensive brands.
That's an inside joke to everybody and stuff, man. So, what was the topic before I came up? And stuff?
Just a Q&A, and we're gonna touch on later on. I was trying to wait for the brother Raya Yahawah because he had a question on about the 2/3 coming back. So I was trying to get him a little time to get in here. But if he don't come in here, we still just gonna touch on the 2/3 coming back through the loins of the 144,000 and the 1/3.
Okay, I'm gonna show the audience this street. All right, this is Michigan Avenue. Now, a little bit up down the street, they have a tribute to uh, John Baptiste, John Gustavo Baptiste and stuff. He's a so-called Haitian that found in Chicago. He's the one who found in Chicago, and he married a Potawatomi woman, a Gade woman. All right, so it wasn't for an Israelite, there wouldn't be this big city called Chicago, man. And so it's a lot of history, a lot of Israelite history from Gad, Judah, Levi, and Issachar, man, Chicago and stuff. So let y'all know.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, you can see right there that street name, Erie. Some of the streets got Gadite names like Michigan, Huron, Illinois for the Illini Confederation. like that, man. Yeah, man. So what's up with dude? You said dude, he in Chicago. He could hook up with us and shit. What's his
Yeah,
name?
he been in our lives before. But he not GMS. He some other camp out there.
In Chicago?
Yeah, Con.
I wonder what it. You know what they you know what letter they name? I mean, you know what letter they camp start with and stuff? What letter they
Nah,
start with?
he told us before, but I can't even remember.
Oh, it slipped your mind. So,
Let me go. I'm gonna
but
go to his page real quick. This is what they look like. If you can see that.
yeah, I see it. Hey, make your
Wait a minute. Okay, I'll make it big.
go back. Yeah, I'm tired of showing off. All right. Okay.
Or maybe he in Detroit. I thought he was in Chicago.
Yeah, I think that look like Detroit or something like that.
Let me see. I'm gonna try to find some more.
Either that is Detroit or like it might be Indiana or something like that. That's what it looks like. That's good. Yeah.
It's JLT, whatever that is, in Detroit.
Yeah, that's Detroit. Yeah. So he coming up here. What? Y'all gonna just break bread and stuff?
Yeah, I mean he be in our lives. He just wanted to understand the 2/3 coming back.
Oh, how they come back, or what they gonna get when they come back?
Yeah, but both.
Okay, okay. Well, that's in Daniel chapter 12. It says sons that wake up to everlasting change. And I think the same chapter says sons they oil to sound bright. Hey, could you get that Daniel chapter 12?
Daniel 12:2-3. Yep.
Yeah, that explains it. But sometimes sometimes you read scriptures and you miss things and stuff. That happened to me and stuff. And sometimes y'all be pointing out things like last week. Abaniah pointed me out the Navy of Darkness. So I was read for years. I thought, I focused on Canaanite. I said, wait a minute. I said, damn, all those years I didn't focus on darkness. So Jeff Fahite, that Solomon had as a nation.
Oh yeah, the Navy of Tarshish, and that was Japhetic.
Yeah, they was prophetic. See,
Yeah,
I ain't had because I was laser focused on the Canaanites and stuff.
yeah,
So, same thing happened to her brother about what happened to the 2/3. So he probably just looked at it, just overlooked it or something like that. So
yeah.
that
That's showing we gonna rule the other nations in that sense. We was ruling over Japhetic, and Hamitic tribes.
yeah, yeah.
So here go
And it,
Daniel 12:2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
yeah,
And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
yeah, yeah. That's the fate of the 2/3. Yep. Because see, people like um, Sarnetta, all the rest of them. Oh yeah, both the black version of debunking Hebrew Israelite, method version of debunking Hebrew Israelite. All what's his name, Marcel. All of them, they gonna come back to everlasting shame, man. They gonna have their head
Yes.
down. I can't wait to see Sarnetta, Garfield, and Shaka Amos, man. I can't wait to see their heads hanging the same, man. They know better, man. And some of the other guys, El Tahar said some of those guys, the other guy, he said he had them as students and shit. I'm like, what? Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of guys, man. And they head down, man. All these TikTokers. What's this guy named Anthony? What's his name?
Philip Anthony.
Yeah, Philip Anthony, man. That big dummy. Fathead Tony, that's what I'm calling him. And so, I'm sorry. You know your other guy sense of humor, so I call him Fathead Tony. He do got like a fat head, man. But yeah, him and all of them, man. Jake think this a fucking joke, man.
Yeah.
They not ready for this. Like, if you making videos, you scoffing at the prophets and stuff. Hey, what just happened, man? America attacked Iran, and Iran talk about retaliating and shit, man.
They already retaliated.
Oh, what they do?
They hit Qatar. They hit a military base in Qatar, American base. Over 10,000 troops is in it, and they hit them with some missile strikes.
And you know what? And what is Esau gonna do? Esau gonna fake a terrorist attack here, blaming on Iranians and shit.
So they did that, and they hit the Straits of Hormuz. They blocking the Straits of Hormuz. So
Yeah.
they about to try. Hey, that's warfare, man. You want to do a blockade? You want to starve out your enemies, right? This is war, man. Yay. Hey, we brothers need to be watching a lot of war movies right now. Go watch Troy, right? Watch those movies.
It's a spirit to watch it. Troy. What's the other war movies? Well, I'm gonna tell you what war movies like World War One, World War Two, Vietnam War,
Yep.
Cold, and stuff like that, man.
Go watch Black Hawk Down. That's a true story. Watch these warfare movies, man.
Yeah, you know what? That's one movie I haven't seen yet.
Black Hawk Down?
Yeah, because
Ooh.
you know how you want to see a movie, but you can't get to it.
Yeah.
You say, yeah, I'm gonna look at it and shit. Then you know something come up. That's how it be and shit, man. So yeah, but you said Black Hawk. You said that's down. That's when this Esau he had no business being in Somalia. They caught their ass and dragged their ass in the street. Something
Yeah,
like that.
they are over there messing in business that ain't theirs.
Yeah, that's where they dragged that Edomite. I remember seeing a live video of that Astro Vent too. They beat the shit out of that boy. No, they
With
beat
false
them.
claims. Yeah.
Hey, they beat them too. They went to the spirit world, didn't they? I
Uh,
think they beat dragged them, right? They went to the spirit world. They ain't come out of there alive.
that one, what's another one? That other one about the dang, what is that? It's like four Navy SEALs, and they went on this. I can't remember what it's called, but that was a good one too.
It recently came out in 2000.
Yeah, in 2000. It's called like four. It's like four of them.
Talking about Men of Valor.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Dang, hold on, I'm gonna look it up because it's a good one and it's a true story. I love them true story joints.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One story they true. The boy talking about, and I forgot what it's in line. He said, "Are you gonna be a?" He thought you're gonna be a sheepdog or a wolf. That shit was made up, man. The sniper movie, yeah, that shit was made up.
Oh yeah, the sniper. Yeah,
Yeah, he's alright, man.
that was a American Sniper. Yeah,
American, yeah, that was a bogus thing to do, man.
the one I was talking about was Lone Survivor. You saw that one?
No, I haven't seen that one yet. Hey, you know what, brother? Hey, DM me the name of those movies,
Huh.
and they're gonna be watching this and stuff. Are these movies on Amazon Prime? Some of them?
Most likely, yeah. I think Lone Survivor is on Amazon Prime or Netflix.
Okay, okay, son. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out and stuff. Yeah, I can't think. Oh, you know what? You like Full Metal Jacket? No, Metal. Damn, what's it called?
Full Metal Jacket? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the one got beat up with the soap in the stomach and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He ate their donut, and they got punished. The whole Marine, they got punished. Their whole barrack got punished and shit. So they tied him up. They said, "Yeah, we hope you like that jelly donut, man." They beat that dude in the sun with that soap, man. But then at the end, he snapped and he unalived that sergeant, man. So yeah, you know that sergeant, he's a real life Marine, man. He's a real life Marine and stuff, man. Trying to say,
Oh yeah, that drill sergeant. Yeah.
yeah, he always playing no military. Well, he was a damn good actor, man. Well, those his things say that. He's a Marine from real. I think he passed away too. He passed away years ago.
Mm.
And stuff, man. But yeah, that and what's the other one? It came out in 1986. They was in Vietnam. Man, I can't think of it. Damn. Only thing, Platoon. You ever see Platoon yet?
Nah, I ain't see that one.
Yeah, that's what the Vietnam, man. You don't see that part like dude foot got affected, and he put one of the platoon had took a cigarette to disinfect his foot, man. But
Yeah, war is gruesome. It's bloody. It's gory. It's it ain't something that we should want to do. It ain't something we was meant to do.
well, that's what Esau do with they like back in the day during World War Two, World War One, World War Two, man. They will make films and all this stuff to glorify, get you going, and all this stuff.
That's what the scriptures are talking about. They shall seek death and not find it. Like
Yep,
that's how it was. You would want to die, but you can't.
yep. That happened in World War One.
Huh?
You had dudes, they had nothing but their stomach. They had no legs or nothing. Some dudes had half their heads and stuff, man.
Ew, bro.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
Yeah,
That's terminate the power of Yahawah, man.
yeah.
Remember, he on me 32 and 9. He said, I had a power to kill. I've had a power to heal, man. So yeah, you had dudes, you had some freaky stuff, man. If you look at it, maybe it'll pop up. Just put deformed soldiers in World War One, and see what pops up, man, and stuff like that. Yeah, man. You see some bugged out stuff, man. But yeah, that's something.
Yeah. I just saw. I ain't even about to put that on the screen. What I just saw.
Oh, you gotta type it up.
Yeah, I typed it up.
Yeah.
I see people with missing eyes, missing half of their face gone, and
And they still alive.
yeah, they might take the live down if I show that.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, don't do it.
Look at the brother. The brother Kananaya said, my grandpa had a quarter of his brain blown off by grenade with WW2. He had a metal plate in his skull. See? That type of stuff, man.
Yeah, man, that's stuff like that happening here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Yep. For the brain, it's the metal plate in the head. Um, the best thing you can do is, well, not combat injury at all, but when you do get injured, the best thing to do, you got a foot missing or arm missing, but like half your head and all that stuff, man, that's gruesome, man.
Yeah. It remind me of like Medal of Honor. You remember that? He lost his leg.
Medal of Honor, that's the video game and stuff.
Nah, the Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when Esau tried to be slick, and he might try to be slick, he passed that test, yeah, upgraded and stuff like that.
Yeah, he had determination, man. That was Jake.
I like that movie. I like movies like that, like determination, underdog, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
everything. So they bogus that whole movie. They call him Cookie Man. So back in the day they put Jake as Cook. They don't put him as sailors.
Yeah.
Call him Cookie Man. That was the most gracious thing in the movie, man.
Yeah, most definitely. But he showed them Edomites up.
Hey, Robert De Niro, he's really Irish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was good, man. He tapped into Esau, man. He's been around on this stuff. But yeah, what's the honorable book? The one with Spike Lee, the one Saint Anna.
Oh yeah, Miracle at St. Anna. I just watched that last month. That's a good one.
That's a real good one with the
And that's a true story.
yeah. Damn, when you see dude, man, he's like, what? You like foul?
Yep. Bow. He kept that grudge. He held that boy.
Yep. And he had that what type of pew pew he had? Yeah, I forgot what it's called. I forgot they called the name of that one. That's one of those German guns.
Yeah, he kept it from the war. Yep.
I was like, damn, man. And that motherfucker, it was still look new with this, man. He kept that pause for dude, man.
Yep.
He knew about the spirit. He was gonna kill him like years later, man. He knew it. You see that dude, man? He was like, wow.
That's man, oppression driver wise man mad, man. He kept that the
Yup,
type of hate he had for Esau.
yup, yup. Hey, that
And
show,
that's on, that's on a carnal level. Think of how much Yahawashi got. Like he's seeing all these generations of people being treated how we being treated, et cetera, et cetera.
yup. Hey, Ecclesiastes 7:7, oppression can make a wise man mad.
Con.
And dude, Sean Penn, he was an Oxy, right? He was an NACI, right? In that movie.
Yeah, yep, con, yep.
So you like, how does dude get American citizenship? Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, yep. They relocated all them NAZIs, relocated, set them up in NASA. That's what it is.
Yep, yep. NASA.
Somebody want to come up, Zaquan?
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh wait a minute,
Well,
nah, he don't want to come up no more.
okay. Well. Another thing they did was they also pulled him in the CIA too.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, I think it was called OSS. I forgot OSS, but that's what CIA was before it was the OSS. And those who, like Elder Malcolm said, the CIA got some. CIA international, and FBI is federal.
Federal, yeah.
Right. So they the most dangerous organization. Do not underestimate the FBI and the CIA.
And then you got all these other little branches like the NSA, the DEA, that still do other things that's major.
Yep.
It's all them
And you just,
alphabet boys, man.
yeah. What's that movie? Enemy of the State with Will Smith in?
Yep, con.
That's a damn good movie. It's not damage Esau does, man. He can turn your life around, make you seem like you did something and stuff.
Zaquan, Bones in the comments talking about what's popping.
Bones, you know, yeah. I
Come
gonna say,
on,
well,
man.
yeah, Bones.
Come on, man. You should know by now, bro. You've been around us over 2 months. You saying what's popping?
Right. Yeah.
What brother in the truth talking about what's popping?
Right. We seen that comment on that Bull Hype video. You said, "What about it?" You put Mexican flags on it. In the video talk about the tribe of Judah getting on firebomb out of Bull Hype.
Come up here. Cause you always jumping in other people's lives. Come up here. Yeah.
You know what? What the hell with him? Just block him. He ain't got time for that.
Con.
He'll get with a missile aiming at his ass.
Before I block you, man, understand Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not a joke. This is not no phase, ain't no trend. All right, this is life or death. As you can see, the prophecies are taking place. And WW3 is right at the edge of tomorrow, man. So you better wake up, Bones. All right, the truth ain't with all those other Christian lives, those bug outs. This ain't about arguing. Brother told me you was in there trying to defend the name of Yahweh Shai. You don't even know the proper doctrine. You ain't even baptized correctly.
Right. How you baptized all the way? You still got hatred for your Judite brother. And you said, what about it? Your Judite brother getting firebombed out of Bull Heights and stuff. Man.
Kind. So man, you need to take the rebuke. You need to take the correction. You need to humble yourself down. All right, you
And
just
also,
moving wrong, bro. You moving wrong.
somebody got hate for the brothers, but it's a murder, man. MURDER, man. You gotta get that hate out of your heart for Judah, man. So I've seen your comment on this video.
When you act like Yahawah Bahasham Yahweh Shai is not going to show us these things and reveal your character, he shows us all these things, bro. Your character ain't right. I caught you in a live with a couple speckled birds, and you kept calling them Africans. By the spirit, I could tell they was Jakes, but you kept calling them Hamites. You don't even know what a Hamite is, dude. You're not learned. We keep going, though.
Right. Right. You don't got time. You know, hey. Y'all wake them up, y'all wake them up, you don't know. Yeah, it's about around 90 degrees in Chicago, man.
Kind, it's about the same out here. I just got off the corner like an hour ago. So yeah, it was about 80, 89, 88.
Yeah, you got the Mojave. You at the Mojave Desert, right?
Huh?
You at the Mojave Desert, correct?
Well, that's where I work at, but I'm about 30 minutes away. It's still a desert though, so it's on the edge of it.
So you can look at that history on the Mojave Indians out
I ain't even know it was dang, it was gas get out here. It's a lot of gad out here though, for real.
there. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, Gad, Zebulon, and Issachar. That's predominantly out here. Like they be thinking they Judah, but they not. They Gad.
Oh, you talking about the Indians out there? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they
they be
real.
thinking they Judah.
Yeah, they real dark skinned and stuff. They real dark. I heard the other Gadite, the other Native American said that they look. That's what they said out of their own mouth. They said they look. He said, "Oh, they look African American, but they Mojave Indians." So
Yep, con.
yeah, they dark as hell too, man. They dark.
Yeah, all the elders out here they dark. Most of them, but they all Gad.
They all Gadite. Yeah, yeah. I heard them out. I heard out the light skinned Gadites mouth man about that. Yeah. I remember one time there was a tribe called the Odom tribe out there. So I think that's more like in Arizona somewhere. And this dude came on one of the other lives and stuff. And the one for the track came screaming and hollering, telling him why you sound all stupid. So what he told, he said some of those Indians, the old Don Indians, he said they were as black by the police. So he said he had an auntie. He said he had an auntie. He got arrested by police. They called her a black woman and stuff. And man, that bug out got a woman man that bug out Eve, got a Eve man. She had a fit man. Why you telling these people that? Now they gonna want to claim that and this and that. I'm like, man. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Oh man. What's that book right there? Presidents, the white book.
Let me get it.
Yeah, that right there. Oh, the nature of presidents.
The Nature of Prejudice.
Damn, 25th anniversary. Oh, okay. Over 5,000. Oh, okay. Got 10.
The classic study of the roots of discrimination with a yeah.
I bet it's a lot of meat in that. Oh, you got the power with that power.
Con. Oh man.
Collection like that. What's that one about? Oh, dad joke. Oh, okay.
Dad jokes. I had to get that one.
Why you get that
Cause I had picked it up and I was talking to my boys telling them the jokes. I was like, let me get it. It was like $11.
one? Yeah, so, oh, you was a Tai Chi song. Tai Chi song. I think
Yeah, I've been trying to do a little Tai Chi meditation, stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I thought about getting into Tai Chi and stuff. Yeah. Hey, you seen how your wife can fix you a big old plate of beef ribs and stuff? Man? Yeah,
Nah, I ain't had no ribs in man a long time.
you ain't never had no beef ribs.
It's been like years maybe.
Beef ribs? Beef ribs and stuff? You never had that?
No, I used to have them, but it's been a while since I had them.
Oh, okay. You talking about no diet.
Time.
Yeah. Well, you make vegan beef ribs, you know. I remember when I was a boy, man. You said vegan, man. Only thing I remember vegan, they had a lot of soy products, man. You know, a lot of them called CANCER, man. You know, they're soy products too. So I remember that people were vegan. I remember that first in the '90s, you know, TV show they had like Thanksgiving or vegan vegan turkey. It was funny as hell, man. They had like a vegan turkey, and they had like vegan. But now, man, that stuff advanced now, man. The vegan stuff, those vegan foods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you know, sometimes it looks identical to me. But you gotta be careful that vegan products too. It's a lot of this processed.
Yeah, it's trash. A lot of it. Cause I went vegetarian for like a year, and yeah, a lot of that stuff is trash. You got to read the labels and be careful. But hey, since you had me pick up this book, I was looking at it. It got this little I don't know if you can see it, but
I can see it, brother.
this says suffering from frustration induced by discrimination and disparagement leads to sensitization and concerns which, and it goes into basically this side being an Uncle Tom. You're gonna have self-hate, withdrawal and passivity, clowning, denial of membership in
Wow.
group aggression, sympathy with all victims. What is that? You trying to give all salvation for everybody?
Right.
Symbolic status striving and neurotism.
Hey, that sounds like the both versions of the Bunky Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, he got self-hate. You hate that you are Israelite.
Yep. So remember, one of the Bunky, the black version of the Bunky, the black version of the Bunky, his friend Marcel said he's afraid he's not an Israelite. So that's
Yeah,
self
that's the
hate.
same thing. Yep. And then over here, you're gonna have excessive concern and suspicious slyness and cunning, strengthening in-group ties, prejudice against other groups, aggression and revolt, stealing, competitiveness, rebellion, enhanced striving. This sound like Alizé or Peggy Sue or something. Like he know he an Israelite, but he want to fight against his own people.
Yeah.
That competitiveness, rebellion. He's a rebel. He's a rebel.
Enhanced striving and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, enhanced striving. Yeah, envy and strife. So
Wow,
that's
man.
when it says it ain't no effects from discrimination or slavery. That's a damn lie. These are the effects because that comes from suffering from frustration induced by discrimination.
Damn, man. People say, well, you can't blame us. Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's why I said when I was talking about Juneteenth, we got a psychological slavery that's on our people.
Huh?
We got a psychological slavery that's on our people as well.
Yep.
It's an echo for some reason. I don't know why, but
Oh, it might be because I'm inside the shopping mall.
kind of, yeah. And the brothers, the coming of Shiloh said the Stockholm syndrome that's on our people as well. Most definitely.
Yeah, that Stockholm syndrome and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is real. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Self hate. Can you get back to the book again? Let's see what else.
Shoot, man. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Ooh. Let me see. I'm gonna find something good. I'm gonna find something good. And I got this book at a yard sale for 50 cents.
Damn, 50 cents.
Yep.
Hey, Yahawah bless you get that book. Man. 50 cents. Hey, you got to I'm serious about this. You got your library card in the area you live in?
A library. Yeah, I got a library card.
They be having some good stuff. Those libraries out there and stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah, they do. Like they got some good books, especially like on the Bible and stuff. And a lot of them Bibles in the library, they got the Apocrypha in them.
wow.
That's why I be telling brothers, man, get a library card. It's free. Go to the library.
Yeah. I remember the library, in my library, you can make copies and stuff. Maybe they don't do that no more. We have to take pictures on our phone and stuff. Like you see something interesting or book or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you can get printed out, but they don't do that no more in my library up here. Do they make printouts where y'all at, or just you gotta take a phone?
Nah, you gotta take them home.
Take a phone, or you know, like you see a page, you just want that particular page, get it print out. They should do that up here. They don't do it no more. Yeah, but I'm gonna let you go, Ak, man. Hey, 7:30. I'm seeing 28 years later, man. That movie.
Oh, Khan, for sure. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. Yahawah Barak.
Nah, Yahawashi Yasharahla. Shalawam.
While I'm keeping you up there, man, I'm not gonna tease you about your library no more.
Alright, Shalawam. Oh, my bad. Go back to the grid, man. Hey, cause while we on this book, it's a lot in this book, man. It's a lot in this book. I ain't even know, cause I ain't really dived into it yet. Oh, let me read this. All right, discrimination. Okay, now I need the camera to focus. Yeah, there you go. We often separate ourselves from people whom we found undeniable. Denial. It is not discrimination when we do so, so long as it is we who move away from them. Discrimination comes about only when we deny to individuals or groups of people equally of treatment which they may wish. It occurs when we take steps to exclude members of an outgroup from our neighborhood, school, occupation, or country. Restrictive covenants, boycotts, neighborhood, pressure, legal segregation in certain states, gentlemen's agreements are all devices for discrimination. So, and if you really look at the scriptures, right, discrimination is going to be in the kingdom, man. Okay, we're not going to be dealing with these other nations in that type of way. They are going to be restricted from having access to what we have access. We are what? A nation above all the other nations, man. So segregation is pushed by Yahawah. Let me get my sword at. Right here. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 7:6. And that's the thing. When you break down the scriptures correctly and you reading the Bible properly, then you got to understand it's a separation. Right? Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahawah thy power. Yahawah thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? So that's being Yahawah's elect. Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. All right. And then taking to Romans 11:7, because it's an elect within the elect. As I said at camp today, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So this is why we're trying to tell brothers and sisters that you come in here, you be amongst the right men that's teaching properly 100%, right? That's breaking things down. That is the elect. That's calling on the true names. That's the hopeful elect, because we hope to be. We dare not make ourselves of that number. None of you individuals know if you're chosen. This is when you first understand you come into this truth. You better get a humble mindset about yourself, man. You better humble down and be meek. You first understand, hey, I messed up. I was in the world. I was doing this. I had a lot of strange women around me, meaning you got a lot of strange doctrines around you. If you bring that spirit of debate, strife, and envy, arguing, anger, you bring that into this truth, you didn't never change. You didn't never reform your mind and walk into your new man. All right? So you don't come into this thing looking to argue and fight and debate and prove your point. No, Yahawah woke you up for a reason. Get this truth, get this understanding, right? I get that for you up. So this is the thing, man. A lot of you brothers come in with the mindset of arguing. All right, you take it and you bring what you did in the world and you bring it into this, or that zeal. You like, nah, it's my zeal. No, but do you even have a good understanding? This is why we rebuke the brother Bones, man. Because you are a baby. You still drinking off of mama's titty, man. Right? You still on the milk. You can't even break down Revelation the 13th chapter properly, bro. But you want to get up here on these lives and argue and go back and forth with people. And you will get confounded and you will get destroyed because you do not know the scriptures. You don't even fellowship with the brothers 100%. I tried to bring you up here to address you and you don't want to get corrected. You don't want to take the rebuke. Every single one of us brothers have taken rebuke before and got corrected. All right? And I saw you came back in here, but you left because you're conflicted in your mind and you're running around in your mind, bro. And yes, the elder said you hate Judah. So Yahawah has put a delusion on you to still have that curse on you, to hate your fellow tribes. You hate your fellow brother, right? At the end of the day, you know. Brother, you wanted a particular scripture in Leviticus 20? Or you talking about Leviticus 20? I'm talking to the brother coming to Shiloh. And yeah, they straddling the fence. Exactly. They lukewarm. You trying to play both houses. Leviticus 20:26. Oh, come. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahawah, am holy, and have severed you from other people that you should be mine. Exactly. Right? You got to be set apart. So that's perfect. That's going back to what we was talking about in this book. Discrimination. Yeah, these other nations are discriminated against. Yahawah's not dealing with them. Isaiah 40:15-17. 2nd Ezra 6:53 going down. He's not dealing with these other nations, man. They are discriminated against. Right? It's one nation to rule them all. All right, at the end of the day, it's one nation to rule them all. Can I get that? Romans 12:2-3. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of power. So you got to get this understanding. You got to come into this thing, right? Yeah, that Joel 2:27, that's a your power, right? You got to understand that Yahawah dwells in the midst of Israel. He don't dwell in these other people. All right? And at this point in time, he's not dealing with every Israelite. He's dealing with the men that he raised up. Right? Verse 3. For I say, let it focus. Though the grace given unto me to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as power have dealt to every man the measure of faith. This is a charge that we put on the brother Bones because he thinks of himself highly. You put in there, so what happened to Judah with Mexican flags? You thinking yourself better than Judah? All right? You're not. Okay? Yahawashi didn't think himself to be better than us, even though he is. Right? But he came and he walked the same path as us, as a slave. He went through the same things that we go through, if not more. He went through far more than us. Right? He lowered himself. So You trying to raise yourself above. The fact that this brother said, so what happened to Judah? You basically would say that to Yahawashi. You would be like, so what happened to Yahawashi? Just because he's not of your tribe. This is the idiot. Oh, boy, that shit pissed me off. But that's how it is. That's why Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi don't want you in our congregation. He has rejected you because you rejected him. All right, let's keep it going. Find something else in this book. It did a lot of studies. You know, and Trump is a prime example of somebody that's really standing up for his race. He is that. He's trying to make America white again. I mean, great again, right? So he's standing up for his race. Well, guess what? Yahawashi about to stand up for his nation. He's about to stand up for his race. Okay, Khan, exactly. Hebrews 7:14. Yahawashi comes of the tribe of Judah. What if Yahawashi came back and said, yeah, I'm taking every tribe but Issachar? Okay, Bones, how would you feel? Well, I'm an Israelite too. Nah, I'm taking every tribe but Issachar. Like, what? It ain't like that, bro. You don't got brotherly love for your brothers. That's why you being rejected. You could repent and come back, man. Right? If you was actually a true man. But you don't know how to be a man. Because you dwelt with us for what, a week? If that? And you think you a man now? No, you ain't get the understanding of the scriptures. Okay? Let me see this. I kind of like this. Okay, I like this. We're going to go into this a little bit. All right, this says learning by subsidation. And let's get that word. Subsidation. All right, subsidation refers to the act of providing a subsidy or the state of being subsidized. A subsidy is a form of financial aid or support extended to an economic sector such as agriculture or energy with the aim of promoting economic and social policy or to assist a private or public entity. Let's get the word subsidize. That'll define it better. Okay, subsidize.
Subsidized.
Supported or an organization or activity having part of the cost or production paid in order to keep the selling price low. All right, and let's read it. I just read a little bit of it. The principle of closure just described is a somewhat intellectualistic principle. It states that a mental structure not yet complete will tend to complete itself, to grow more meaningful, more self-consistent, but we do not live our lives exclusively on the intellectualistic plane. The principle needs to be broadened. It is not only specific meanings that are rounded out and justified, but likewise the whole complex value pattern and system of interest. And this following case report, I wanted to join the Congregational Church when I was 11 years old because all my friends went to that church and seemed to have such a good time. A lot of us, you Christianity because your grandmother was Christianity, right? That's what you are. Because grandma took you to church 3 times out the week, and that's what you learned. That's what you was taught. All right, your friends believed in Jesus Christ. That's all it was. Your friends never actually opened the Bible and read it and could tell you who they were, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't want to be subsidized. You don't want to be joined to this world, because you're going to be under a counsel. You're going to cover yourself with a counsel, a spirit that's not of Yahawah's spirit. Right? Yeah, that's how Muslims are. Never, and that it's really, it's being a yes man. Okay? Because all my friends went to that church and seemed to have such a good time. These Christians, they really, it's toxic as hell. But I didn't. Why? Well, because in some subtle way, which I've never been able to figure out, the family made it clear to me that there was a certain dignity in belonging to the Episcopal Church. Also, it was the old story of grandfather and great-grandfathers having sat in those same pews. Now, what is this in what we talking about? It's generational curses. Yeah, my family looked at me crazy when I started talking that Hebrew Israelite stuff, as they would say. All right? You don't believe in Jesus no more? You serving Satan? All right, just because somebody don't believe in Jesus don't mean that they serving Satan. We believe in the King. We believe in the Son. We just don't call him that false name. We have a better understanding because we actually researched and studied. But because of what they're accustomed to, which they were subsidized into, it's the norm, right? That's what they're on. They look at you like you're crazy because you're going against the norm. That's how all the prophets was looked at, because they went against the norm, right? Keeping it going a little bit. Here we see that the girl's family had established for her a value frame of reference. So your life was already planned out by your family. Your grandmother was Christian. Your father was Christian. So you got to be Christian. It would be well for her to maintain dignity, status, and a prideful design for living. Within this directional set, she gradually develops her pacific attitudes. All right, pro-Episcopalian and congregational. First, she begins to take a certain view of herself, one of subtle superiority. Her prejudice, such as they are, will be merely incidents in the maintenance of the self-image. Her brand values, the scheme she lives by, So this is the religion, right? This is the understanding. Will form her view of out groups, meaning other nations, other individuals. In this instance, there probably will never be hatred or unkind discrimination. Rather, there will be just the slightest sense of superiority over groups that are less dignified. And that creates a high-minded spirit. This is why you would have a Christian that believes themselves to be better than us, because they go to church every Sunday, they pay their tithes, they give their offerings. Okay, they so-called don't sin when they sin every single day, but they don't understand the scriptures. But I would call this brainwashing, right? So a lot of these prejudice, this is the nature of prejudice. A lot of these prejudice that people have in their mind is rooted in their belief system, right? Taking it back to the scriptures, because this is what they do not understand. They won't actually go by, is Isaiah 34:16. It's in their Bible. It's in our Bible. Seek ye out of the book of Yahawah and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Furthermore, you got to meditate. You read it, you also got to meditate. This is Joshua 1:8. The book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So you have to study. You have to be diligent. You got to get this understanding of these scriptures, right? And that will separate you from being a yes man, such as an IUIC guy that just marches and says Most High Christ bless, to being an actual teacher, an actual learned individual that knows the scriptures, right? And that's not just a yes man, right? We aren't taught to be yes men. We aren't taught to just go with the flow. We taught to, hey, brothers need to bring out lessons. Are you just copying other brothers, bringing out what other brothers is bringing out? No. Yeah, sometimes we go with the flow. Hey, everybody rebuking, etc., etc. Okay, I'm gonna rebuke him too, right? I'm gonna get my 2 cents on it. But you still need to bring out lessons on your own subjects. All right, speaking on other things, edifying, doing your own studies, building your own. Not to say library, you ain't gotta build no library, but studying on your own and getting your own knowledge, building your own gift. We do not all have the same gift. Exactly. That's the church of Berea, brother. We got to be like that church that searched the scriptures, the church of Berea. So not yes men. Okay? At the end of the day. All right? Keeping it going. I'm going to get a little bit more in this book and then we'll let me see. Oh, this is a good one. Stereotypes. And I ain't read this, but we're going to read this first together. But there's, no, I don't know. Ain't got no, I'm trying to look for some gems in here. I'm teaching a lesson.
What you doing at home?
Because this my house.
No, why you ain't at work?
Because I can do what I want to do.
Blood of Jesus, there is a lie.
What in the world? I mean, why am I here? Because I live here. Let me stop. All right. Oh, this is a funny one. Stereotypes concerning the Jew. Many studies have been made of the pictures that non-Jews have of Jews. In 1932, Katz and Bradley found that college study students ascribed the following traits to Jews: shrewd, mercenary, industrious, grasping, intelligent, ambitious, sly. With somewhat less agreement, the following traits were also mentioned: loyal to family ties, persistent, talkative, aggressive, very religious. This study, conducted in 1932, was repeated in 1950. The change in stereotypes over time is discussed in a later section, interviewing 130 veterans in Chicago. Now, who you think they talking about? They most likely talking about Esau. All right, because when they talking about Jews, they mostly talk about Esau. They not going, in these books, most of these books, unless some of those books the elder got, man, they'll actually bring it out who we are. And I'm looking for some little, man. But it's basically stereotypes, right? Every nation, our nation has a major stereotypes. What Kakama always talking about? Watermelon and fried chicken, right? Now, does every brother like watermelon and fried chicken? No. Where the brother Yahawah at? He was in here. The brother Yahawah don't like watermelon. Okay, does he fit that stereotype? No, it's a stereotype. You can't say everybody with dreads is about to spoil you, about to rob you, or whatever. All right, this is why you go off an individual, you go off their fruits, right? You have to deal with somebody. You have to see. Now, if somebody is, let's say somebody's calling on Yahweh, somebody calling on Yeshua, they might have been taught wrong. So you have to, after 2 admonitions, apply Titus the 3rd chapter, right? You got to deal with an individual. Because I remember I used to call on the name of Yahweh, right? Yeshua. I used to actually thought those was the correct names. until a brother corrected me and I studied and I got that understanding. So what if a brother, would have just saw me and I would have said, that's the name, right? Right? And he just, whatever. But in my spirit though, what was I doing? I was open to listen. And I was open to actually go and research and go. And when a brother pointed me to the Los Lunas, New Mexico stone, I was open to go and check it out. So open to be diligent, right? At the end of the day, this is the difference between really if you're going to be learned or not. You got to have the ability and the want, the effort to put in to learn and to study and to be diligent and to learn about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Just put out a skit, a funny little skit, whatever. But it's a lot of people in the comments that believe in that stereotype that we just over here in our houses yelling at our women, blah, 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 beating their ass, etc., etc. You have a lot of people in that comment that really believe that. And I'm like, man, it's a terrible stereotype or stigmatism that's on our people, man. And for real, brothers, it's going to come a point where Hebrew Israelite is going to be a death sentence. Believe it or not, okay? That's going to be a death sentence. He's a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, arrest him. Get him. Lock him up. Throw him in prison. Boom, boom, boom. Off with his head. That's what's coming. That's the type of persecution that's coming. Remember the time of Acts. Remember Paul and Peter. Remember them going into prison. All right? The brother Yahawah said, if they believe it, they will see true cruelty when the Lord lets his spirit loose. Kind of, if they believe it. And many don't believe. It's going to be less that believe than those that don't believe, right? It's going to be more that don't believe than those that believe. Because, going back to it, they have prejudice towards Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, which is the worst form of prejudice. You have a predetermined thought in your mind. Let's look up that word Judice, right? Judice. And prejudice refers to a preconceived opinion or feeling, often negative, about something or someone without a rational basis. Subjudice is a Latin term meaning under judgment. So you have a prejudgment of somebody and refers to a matter currently under judicial consideration. But you got these motherfuckers talking about, we don't judge. Everybody judges. Everybody judges, bro. Everybody is prejudiced in some form or fashion. You making a predetermination. Okay? You are. That's why I said you got to rule over your spirit and you got to be apt to teach and you got to be patient. You got to be calm because your prejudice, you know how we know, hey, we see somebody say Yahweh, Yeshua, etc., etc. We automatically cautious with them. And we going to try to what? We going to correct them. And then based upon their reaction to the correction, we either going to deal with them if they're sincere or not, or we going, after 2 admonitions, we're going to kick them to the curb. Because that judgment has been laid. That's why we say scoffers and mockers come in here to get their judgment, right? They get their judgment. So the difference, going back to us brothers, who many of us brothers was under different things, under different strange women, different vibrations, and we believe different, but we all came back into the body of Hamashiach, right? We were sincere. We held on. We were diligent. We put forth an effort. We seeked out the scriptures, all right? Many do not do that. That's why it's 9 people in my live, but you go to a bug outs live and it's 100, 200, 300 people. All right, I can show you that real quick. Let's go to TikTok live. real quick. All right, let me see. I'm gonna go on my other page.
Hey guys, now we only have 7 left available, man. So shout out
shit
to
like
Angel
this.
and shout out to
All right,
Cali Boy.
472.
Much love, man. Much love. Thank you for your guys'
Like
purchases.
what?
But yeah, if you guys are here, tap the screen. Last days, that is.
Oh, ain't this that bug out? He's going against the Hebrew Israelites.
Excuse me, if I said the survivors.
Please, what do you say? Please keep it on topic. Non-Israelites receive salvation. Righteousness comes by faith. Children of God by the Spirit. We are in the new covenant. We are in the new covenant, right? This guy, man. How many people in here? 51 people. Okay, let me turn this shit down. 51 people. 52 people. Constantly going up. Who's in there? Bug outs. Dave the Edomite. 2026, Yahusha, he believes Yahawashi is coming in 2026. Man, Yahawashi could come next week. Okay, you idiot. All right. Let's see who in the, hope we don't see nobody we know. Oh, that boy, I know that boy right there. He's a bug out. They boy, all right. Prince Kua, Yehuda. He's just straight bug outs, man. This dude right here, the Shabbat page. Let me stop. That's me. His brother got Yasharahla, BOW. It's a lot of people. It's a whole lot of Yah shit up in here. That's what we call it. A whole lot of Yah shit. Who is this Obadiah dude? Man, I think I know him. Hebrew hippie. Oh, Jacob Rodriguez. They flow together and they flock together. Right? And they get the views, they get the likes because they're sifting agents. It was just 50, now it's almost 60. They're sifting agents. Exactly. How we in the new covenant? Okay? We in the new covenant, but we still teach. You an Israelite, but you're still teaching one another. But we in the new covenant. All right? It's pointless to go up in a live like this. Because you go in there, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that's against you. Okay? It would not be wisdom to go into this live. It would be pointless. Right? But that's just showing you 60. Right? That's just showing you that it's more people to sift. It's more people to pull into that. Right? To get their judgment. They're there to get their judgment because they chose that. Right? And it's going to be less in here. Let's go to another one. 40. Another one. Yeah, it's some bullshit. She just started that. What happened to all the slave ships? She just started that. This one got 92. All right, oh, they playing a game. I like this little game. I'll be watching this joint. But it's on stream. Or Steam or whatever. I ain't got no PC. But that parkour shit is tight. The rappers always getting 100, right? It's just showing you worldly stuff is going to get, it's going to get the likes, it's going to get the views, etc., etc. They're still caught up in this kingdom, all right? Some bullshit. Oh, perfect one. 173. Who they pushing? Jesus Christ. This guy, Cesare Borgia. All right? At the end of the day, cons, the brothers say they ain't going to get the hopeful elect. Right? Automatically, you should know. You should not fall for that. You should have a prejudice towards this individual already because what is he doing? He's promoting a false image. He's promoting a false image. Yeah, he's a stumbling block to our people. To 172 people. If some of them are Israelites. Right? Most definitely there's some people in here that are Israelites. All right? He looks to be an Israelite himself. So these are stumbling blocks. These are sifting agents. And Yahawah is allowing them to do that. He's drawing these souls to these false prophets. According to Jeremiah, the 14th chapter. right? Let's end it. I'm going to end it over there with Jeremiah, the 14th chapter. I'm going to wrap it up. Jeremiah 14, starting at 13. Then said I, Yahawah power, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall you have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. You go into these lives, right? You go into debunking the Hebrews, you go into Dave, you go into Danny P, you go into all these individuals. They can't break down these prophecies. They can't tell you what's about to take place. Right? They're not talking about, they can't break down Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Never could they. So they don't have it. Verse 14. Because they don't have what? They don't have Isaiah 8 and 20. They don't got Revelations 19 and 10. They don't have that light. They don't got the spirit of prophecy. Verse 14. Then Yahawah said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. So in my name, meaning they also got the name of Yahawah and Yahawashi. Such as this individual who we marked earlier this week, right? Let's pull him up. If I don't got him blocked, I think I might have him blocked. Okay, yeah, I got him blocked. But let me see. I'll just go back to my other page where I got him on there marked. And that's another thing. People hate that we mark individuals. Where if somebody is wicked and they mislead my people, we gonna mark them. As the scripture said, mark them that cause division and speak contrary to the doctrine. All right. This guy, this individual, once again, Lorenzo, Big Yasharahla, he's speaking against Paul, which also means he's speaking against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We mark these individuals. Right? Because they're off. They are false prophets. They are false Hamashiachs. All right? You trying to come in a different way that Yahawashi never said come in. You trying to say Paul didn't come and teach the Gentiles? Paul didn't teach correctly? You dare say that out your mouth, bro. All right? That's crazy. Okay? You try to call Paul wicked because he took the vow of the Nazarite? You err in not knowing the scriptures. Then Yahawah said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name, because Lorenzo, he has the name of Yahawah and Yahawashi. He calls on the name, but he prophesies lies. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart, of their mind. That's lust. That's his flesh that talks. All these false prophets. When you're listening to Danny P, listening to Dwayne debunking the Hebrew, you listening to whoever it may be, they're talking from their flesh. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall these prophets be consumed. So what's going to take place? Yahawah is preserving them. That's why he would give a character like Pastor Phillips a big church and a big congregation to furthermore sift those individuals out, to have them in the congregation of the dead, waiting for their judgment. They are preserved for judgment. The scripture says Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi knows how to preserve the unjust, and he knows how to save the righteous from temptation. So they are being preserved. Don't worry about them. Scriptures talk about us not caring about how the unrighteous shall be, what shall happen to them. Worry about how you will be saved. All right? Yeah, we don't want no smoke. Yeah, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Verse 15. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. So they will be took out by nukes. They will be took out by pew-pews, by famine, starving to death, their flesh eating itself, their organs deteriorating. All right? And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. So that means their congregations. If you still in swallowed up congregation, you still dealing with that man, you still listening to him after all this stuff then came out, right? He's dropping down, letting his daughter teach, etc., etc. You still listening to this individual. You in the congregation of the dead, man. Okay? You deserve whatever is coming to you. All right? Verse 17. Therefore, thus shalt say this word unto them. Let mine eyes run down with tears night and day, and let them not cease. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach, with a very grievous blow. If I go forth into the field, then behold, the slain with the sword. And if I enter into the city, then behold, them that are sick with famine. Yea, both the prophet and the priest go about into a land that they know not. All right. So what's about to take place, man? These guys who, and it's coming very soon because we see it all taking place. Don't think that Yahawah is not about to judge these false prophets and take them down. Okay? Don't think that they can do all this wickedness and mislead our people. Jeremiah 23, woe to the false prophet. Woe to the wicked pastors. Don't think they can do all of this and nothing's going to happen to them. They're just going to get away scot-free. No, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it 10 times over, man. All right? That's pretty much it, man. That's any questions from the comment board. And we'll wrap it up. I see Fernando Yahawah. That's not the correct name, bro. You know, it's no U's in the Hebrew. No O's. No V's. No E's in the Hebrew. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, I just told you the correct name is Yahawah. All right. The correct name is Yahawah. And the correct name of the son is Yahawashi. Okay. You want me to prove it to you? I could very well prove it to you. All right. There is no Jewiv. Okay. Let's address that then. You said there's no Jewiv. All right. So let's go to the scriptures. Let's go to the scriptures real quick. Because you about to be proven a liar. And not to offend you or nothing, but it's just you've been taught wrong. All right. First of all, Fernando, I would ask you, what's your ethnicity? What's your father's nationality? All right. What came first, the U or the W? Ask yourself that. Okay, I asked myself that. Trust me. You think I'm not learned? I ain't research. I ain't study. You think I'm just talking about something and I never looked it up? That would be unwise, right? Right? So once again, my first question to you is, what's your father's ethnicity? Because that will determine if I'm even going to do this. I'm still going to do it, but what's your father's ethnicity? It will determine if you can get it and comprehend it. So what's your father's nationality, ethnicity? Can you answer that question real quick? You said yes. That's not the answer to the question. What's the answer? Man, while you're answering that, we got right here, man, we got some sour sop juice. All right? Sour sop juice. Real good for you. All right? You know, you get that at your local Mexican grocery store. Right? Gotta go to Issachar to that. Yeah, you said we've been labeled Mexican. Okay. So if your father is so-called Mexican, and you know, if his bloodline goes back to Aztec, right? So-called Aztec, then you are Issachar. Okay? You are Israelite. All right? So that would actually mean that you could most likely get this if Yahawah wants you to get this. That's only if he wants you to get it. Now, listen closely, write these scriptures down. I'm going to help you because we see many that have that name of Yahuwah that believe in that name, but it's the incorrect name, brother. All right. So let's go into this. This is Isaiah 19 and 18. In that day, and that's speaking about right now, shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt. What is that land of Egypt? That's speaking about America. Speak the language of Canaan and swear to Yahawah of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. Now, what is the language of Canaan? That's simple Google search. The language of Canaan. Right? What's the language of Canaan? The language of Canaan is Hebrew, the language spoken by the Israelites in ancient times. This phrase found in a prophecy about Egypt turning to Yahawah of Israel, signifying a cultural and religious shift that's happening right now, according to Barak 2 and 30, going downward. As adopting Hebrew implies embracing the culture and beliefs of the Israelites, the passage suggests the cities in Egypt will speak Hebrew and swear allegiance to Yahawah of hosts, indicating a transformation from Egyptian to the worship of the Israelite God. That ain't what that means. All right, it's talking about us right now leaving this wicked language that we speak and learning Hebrew. Barak 2nd chapter, verse 30 going downward tells you that we shall seek the name of our Father. Now, the language of Canaan, right here, Canaanite languages. The term Canaanite encompasses a group of Semitic or Shemitic languages, including Hebrew, Phoenician, and Moabite. Now, it would be Phoenician. The language of Canaan goes back to Phoenician. Phoenician. I'm going to get Yahawah up to show it. Canaanite goes actually to Phoenician, so it's a Phoenician language. So right here, you would have the Proto language, you would have the Canaanite language, then you would have the Phoenician, then you would have the Paleo-Hebrew, brother, right here. This is Yahawah, 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 Yahawah. All right, the last A on the ha would be silent. And this would be the Assyrian or the Aramaic. All right, right here. Now, you go to the scriptures. Let's go to Exodus. Daggone spam. Let's go to Exodus 15 and 3. Yahawah is a man of war. Yahawah is his name. You click on this, go to the interlinear, and you go right here. You click on that, right? Look at that. That's going to be Yahawah. You take it back over here, it's the same thing. It's going to be Yahawah. All right? This is the Assyrian, the Aramaic. Same thing. All right? Right there. You can see that. Now, it will tell you Yahovah, which is no E's, no O's, no V's, no U's. Okay? You think I put Aki? I ain't no such thing as Aki. All right? But we just listen, bro. Just listen. So he would be the existing one. It's the proper name of the one true power. Now, you think I'm pronouncing it wrong. All right. Let me go to the alphabet to show you. Right here. You do it like that. All right. So we just showed you the Assyrian. Now you would have what? You would have Yah. Okay. Yah. Ha. Wa. Ha. Yah. Ha. Wa. Ha. Yahawah. Like I said, the last A on the ha would be silent. These are the proper characters as we showed you right here. It's the same characters. Now let's do it in the Paleo-Hebrew. Okay? Nobody is pronouncing it wrong. All right? As you can see right here, Yah, it's no U's. Because you say Yahuwah, but it's no U's in this language at all, brother. So it'll be Yahawah. Now you come back up here, it's going to be the exact same thing in the Paleo Hebrew. It would be Yahawah. Okay, you said you close, just okay, we can address that point as well. You said just change the W into a U. All right, I'm going to give you undeniable proof. Okay, and then if you can't get it after that, then you can keep going, man. All right, so once again, Yahawah. It's no U's. You said you keep want to change this W to a U. It does not change. All right, this is before your time. This is before that white devil who you are referring to, who did that. He did that. He added that U. Let's go into that. Okay. This is why it takes a simple search. This guy, Eleazar ben Yehuda, he added the U and the E and the O and the V into the language. Okay? You said I'm teaching a false language. No, you are going off a false language. Okay? We're going to go to him in a minute. Before we go to him, let's go to Phoenician alphabet. And let's see if the Phoenician alphabet, which the Hebrew comes from, let's see if the Phoenician alphabet had a U in it. All right? Since you said I'm teaching an incorrect language. All right. So let's read it. Yes, the Phoenician alphabet does have a letter that corresponds to the U sound, though it was originally a consonant wav. Wah. That's the same. That's the same right here. Wah. Okay? So Esau, because he replaced it with a U, this is why you're saying Yahuwah and you're not saying Yahawah. Because that U was replaced, it's replacing the Wah. Alright? So in Phoenician, it would be Wah, that same character. Alright? They even have the damn alphabet right here, which also represented the W sound. This letter was later adopted by the Greek alphabet and became Epsilon Y, eventually representing the vowel U. Okay, I already got Isaiah 19 and 18, Malak. I already took him over there and he denying it still. Right? So, is he still in here? Fernando, you cannot deny this, bro. Okay? This was altered. This was changed by the YT man. You are Issacharite. You are a Mexican, a so-called Mexican. All right? The YT man altered this. He changed this. Okay? So it's not Yahuwah, brother. It's Yahawah. So as you told us to change that W to a U, we telling you again, change that U to a W. All right? You got to get the right alphabet. This is the correct alphabet that our people called upon. Let's go back to the white man. All right? This guy. Would you trust this guy? Fernando, yes or no? This is my question to you personally, bro. Would you trust this guy with your kids? Right? Would you trust this guy, man? No, nobody. Nobody in here is about to trust this guy, man. All right? So let's look up what he did. Eleazar ben Yehuda. Right? Born Eleazar, yeah, I ain't saying that shit. Okay? Was a Russian Jewish linguist. Now, he's a Jewish. He's fake. All right? He's really an Edomite at the end of the day. Lexicographer and journalist who immigrated to Jerusalem in 1881 when the Ottoman Empire ruled it. He is renowned as a lexicographer of the first Hebrew dictionary. But wait a minute, go back here. What are you talking about? like, it's because they're going to say he's the father of Hebrew. But as you can see, we were speaking our language back here. Zoom in because it's not focusing. In 12 BC, right? During the time of the judges, during the time of Moses, during the time of Abraham. Abraham spoke Hebrew. So this man came and tried to take hold of our language. Okay? He is renowned as the lexicographer of the first Hebrew dictionary and also as the editor of Jerusalem-based Havvi, one of the first Hebrew newspapers published in the land of Israel. Ben Yehuda was the primary driving force behind the revival of the Hebrew language, and he revived it incorrectly. Incorrectly. He added U's, E's, O's, V's to the language. All right. The brother said 1881 is significant because that was also the time when they were trying to establish Israel as a state. Now, Fernando, you know what we call those people? You should know this if you are studied a little bit. We call them 1948ers. Now, did they just come in 1948 and set up? No. They were, doing little key strategy movements and things of that nature, getting in the nation to drive the people out and to come into that land and take it over. All right? So they didn't just come out of nowhere. These small hats have been plotting and planning to take that land. Okay? And exactly, yeah, what the brother said, Yiddish. Let's get that. Let's get the Yiddish. Because it's actually a form of 3 languages. Yiddish, a language used by Jewish people in Central and Eastern Europe before the blah, blah, blah. It was originally a German dialect with words from Hebrew and several modern languages. And that would be Aramaic, Slavic, and Hebrew. And is today spoken mainly in the U.S., Israel, and Russia. Okay? So once again, Fernando, as you can see, what you are speaking is this. It's Yiddish. It's what the YT people speak. It's not the correct language. It's not even a Canaanite language. It's not Phoenician, because as we showed you, Phoenician had Wav, the W. All right? They took it and replaced it and they took it and replaced it and changed it to the U later on. Now, furthermore, let's look up this. When, and this, I'm going to just tell you what I'm going to type in. When was the letter U created? Right? And we just read it straight up. You see, this is simple. This is basic. The letter U wasn't created as a distinct letter from V at a specific moment. Instead, it evolved from the Latin letter V over centuries, as scribes and printers started distinguishing between the vowel sound and the consonant sound. All right? I want to get a time frame because I know it's around the 1400s to 1600s is when this letter was coming into existence. The letter U ultimately derives from the Phoenician letter Wav, we told you that, which was adopted into Greek as Upsilon. All right? It's not giving me what I want. It's type in 1600s and it'll show it. Right here. All right. Right here. The rune was replaced by UUW by about 1316. About 1600, this had become W. The new letter U appeared around 1440. As the pronunciation of words containing the letter V began to vary, the new letter J first appeared in the 1630s in words borrowed from French. So this is very important on the words that you are talking about. U, and for you Jesus people, J. This tells you when these words were, really implemented. All right? These words were not around. These letters, Salakia, were not around. The U, the V, and the J, and the F, and the E, they were not around during the time of Yahawashi. They were not. All right? They were not around, brother. So that name, Yahuwah, is a false name. All right, point blank, period. There's no other way around it. You know? And I hope you can get that, Fernando. You know, brothers in here is trying to they throwing more information at you as well. All right, you 33, bro. I'm 32. You know, you grew up same time, man. Okay? You know, maybe Yahawah is trying to pull you, according to John 6:44, right? Because you seeking the language, right? You calling on a different name. You know it's not Jesus. You know it's not Jehovah. Okay? Who's Yahawashi? That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So Yah means he. Hawashi means to save, to deliver, or is salvation. So Yahawashi is the Son. All right? At the end of the day, the Son is spoke of in Isaiah, the 11th chapter. Let's get that. Starting at the top. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. Now, who would that be? That would be King David. And a branch shall grow out of his roots. That branch would be Yahawashi. And the spirit of Yahawah shall rest upon him. Because during the time of Isaiah, this is past Solomon. Okay, this is not speaking about Solomon. Although in a way it is, because Solomon is Yahawashi, that same soul. But this is more so speaking about Yahawashi, because he comes through the lineage of David. He's tribe of Judah. And the spirit of Yahawah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahawah, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahawah, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, his mind, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. So Yahawashi is 100% complete righteousness. That's how he's coming back, right? Judgment, people don't really associate judgment with righteousness in the sense of people getting unalived, because they have a soft, simp type of mindset about them. But for righteousness to come, you need the dirty, the wicked, the impure, the unclean to be took out of this place. When you clean up your house, ain't you trying to get the germs gone? Ain't you trying to clean up, get all the trash out? You trying to get the stuff that doesn't need to be there up out of there. So your house can be pure. It can smell good. It can look nice. So the same thing with this planet. You got to get these undesirables up out of this planet, man. All right. So the proper nation can rule. All right. And Yahawashi is our savior, brother. You know, we have to worship him as we worship the Father. You know, you worship Yahawah, Yahawashi, Yahawah and Yahawashi. He has been given all. Let's go to Matthew 28:18. And Yahawashi came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, meaning Israelites that are scattered in other nations, baptizing them. How do you baptize? Via these laws, commandments, and statutes, via this word, via this understanding, this proper doctrine. Baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, right? So anybody that receives it, that takes it in, that constantly comes back, that wants to get more milk, more meat, more understanding, they are being baptized. They are getting this truth, right? It's not about no water. I can't throw no water on no brother. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't matter, right? You got to get this living water, which flows from us, comes from our belly, comes out of our mouth, and it hits who it needs to hit, and it rests on who it needs to rest on, right? At the end of the day, let's get Micah, the 5th chapter. Because this was all prophesied. Verse 2, but thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting. It's talking about Yahawashi. All right. Okay, how does one get everlasting life? All right, let's touch on it. So first and foremost, you want to what? You want to subdue your own understanding. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter. All right, verse 14. Verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, your minds, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. Now, what is that mercy? That everlasting body, all right, being brought into the new covenant. So that's what it's talking about, all right? So that's what you want, that everlasting body, that everlasting life. Now, furthermore, let's go to Acts, the 3rd chapter. Acts 3:19. Repent ye therefore and be converted. That goes into what? Ultimately being sorry, being humble, being meek, understanding that you messed up, understanding that you was calling on a different name. All right, whatever you did in this world, really turning back, right? Seeking Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Those that seek him diligently, okay? So you have to repent and be converted, to reform, to change. To convert is to change over, to transform. That your sins may be blotted out. So by your sins being blotted out, the wages of death that come with them, you're not going to be unalive for that. Meaning you're not going to feel the second death, that eternal fire, that fire, which is the ICBM missiles. So you won't have to go into the lake of fire, right? Which is the ICBM missiles burning in America, which is going to burn for a very long time. All right, but it's not going to burn forever. So you want to repent and convert so your sins may be blotted out when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of Yahawashi. All right. And exactly as the brother said, you got to be a part of the elect remnant and making your calling and election sure. Right. You got certain individuals that say you just need faith. Well, faith without works is dead. You need faith and works. How do you show your works? Doing the laws, commandments, and statutes. Keeping the Shabbat. The Shabbat is tonight and tomorrow night. All right? Keeping it properly. Right? That's a work. All right? Moving in the correct way. Sharing videos, sharing information, helping brothers, giving alms, charity, right? Giving back. All right? Doing lessons if the Spirit comes on you to do lessons and teaching others after you get to a certain level where you get that understanding, where you can go forth and teach others, right? So it's all that can all be considered works, dropping precepts, helping brothers, man, right? And enduring to the end, Matthew 24 and 13. You know what I'm saying? All right, Yahawah got a good question. How do you keep the Shabbat correctly? Okay, okay, wait a minute. I got you. It's all good. I got you. Read this one, Matthew 19:16 through 26. Okay, you want me to get that? I got you. Matthew 19. Man, I'm about to have somebody come up and read, man. I done had camp. My voice hurting. Let me stop. All right, Matthew 19:16 through 26. And it's talking about the rich young ruler. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one that is power. That's the Father. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. Exactly. Let's get Revelations 14 and 12. What is it? 14 and 12. Yeah, 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of power and the faith of Yahawashi. So that's the works and that's the faith. The works and the belief, right? So the understanding and the belief, the hope, the faith. So those two things have to come. And that means the proper doctrine, the proper name, the proper understanding, right? And we're going to get your question, Yahawah, right after this. Okay? So Yahawashi said, I'm not good. Why? Because he broke the laws in his past life as Solomon, as Isaac, as Adam. He went off. So he can't say he's good, right? There is none good but one, that is the Father, Yahawah. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He saith unto him, which Yahawashi said, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man saith unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up, what lack I yet? Now, understanding this, the 10 commandments basically summarize the 613. In a sense, it made it easier for you. Okay? And then Yahawashi took it and summarized it to 2 laws. All right? Love Yahawah with all your might, your strength, your soul, and then love your brother as you love yourself. Right? So that summarizes all 613 laws. Okay? At the end of the day, for individuals. All right? So keeping it going, the young man saith unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahawashi said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Meaning forsake everything that you have. You're not attached to this world. You're not holding on to all this type of stuff. You're not trying to make it and settle down in this planet, man. At this point in time, you're putting your affections on what's above, the next life. Right? Now, you have to take care of your family. You got to have a job and things of that nature, right? Because you got to endure until the end. But you're not trying to, 10-year plan, none of that. All right? You trying to, we hastening the day. We trying to get up out of here. Verse 22. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Yahawashi unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of power. Because why? Because a rich man is more associated and attached to his riches, his house, his car, all of his stuff, his investments. This is why these millionaires and billionaires, when the market crash and they lose all their money, etc., they be dropped low like us. They gonna unalive themselves, man. They gonna be, they gonna be done. Spiritually, mentally, all of that. They're gonna be done emotionally. All right? Because that was their power. That was their God. That's what they put their trust in. Their stock market. All right? Their money. We put our trust in who? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Verse 25. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved? But Yahawashi beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, with power all things are possible. All right? And that does not mean that brothers aren't going to have money. Brothers aren't going to have nice things, etc. Okay? Brothers will have things, all right? Etc. But we're not attached to our things. We're not holding on to our things. We're not putting our faith and trust in our things, in our jobs, in our cars, in our women, in our kids. That's going to forsaken everything that you have, right? So keeping it going. Dang, why you blocked the brother? What happened? Kakuma, why you block him? What'd he say? What'd he say? I wasn't even seeing the comments. Heretic. Dang, what'd he say? I'm like, damn. Alright, con. Whatever, man. Hopefully it was edifying to somebody else. All right, let's get to the brother Yahawah, and that'll be the last question. All right, so how do you keep the Shabbat correctly? All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah. I'm thinking the brother listening and shit, man. I'm rooting for the brother, man. Right? I'm rooting for the brother, man. This is Isaiah 58 and 13. Okay? If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath, Shabbat, a delight, the holy of Yahawah, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahawah, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father, for the mouth of Yahawah have spoken it. All right? So, what's a pleasure? To the brother Yahawah, you got to think about that. What's a pleasure? Okay? Intercourse. All right? Stuff that you do constantly. Right? Shoot. You know, just pleasures, man. Like on the Shabbat, you shouldn't really go to no damn basketball game or something. Right? You shouldn't be going to no concert. Right? And Jake, be careful going to concerts, especially with these sleeper cells and stuff like that. Right? You know, ain't nobody telling you how to live your life. We just telling you to live according to the laws, commandments, and statutes, and use wisdom in all things. Now, a concert definitely would be pleasure. Because you going out, you partying, you might drink, right, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you need to refrain from doing those type of things, okay, on the Shabbat. So it's a set-apart day. Stuff that you normally do is you need to refrain from that. Exactly. The brother said clubs also is not wise. We're not telling no brothers to not go to the club, but once again, it's not wise, all right? You know, at the end of the day, because shoot, clubs is it's you don't want to just go around temptation, you know, especially on the Shabbat. You want to separate. All right. Now, with that being said, with women, a woman, when you go into a woman, what are you? What does the scripture say? Let's get it. Let's go to the law. What is it? Leviticus, like 18, maybe? Into the evening? Or 15. I think Leviticus 15. All right, cleansing unhealthiness. No, that's probably not it. If a brother know it, could you put it real quick? All right, talking about the what is it? Sperm or copulation? Right here. Leviticus 15 and 16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the evening. Now, when you're dealing with a woman, those type of things are going to take place. And furthermore, what is a woman? She's unclean. In her inside, she's unclean. When you deal with her, you are unclean until the evening. So really, I broke this down at camp today, right? You shouldn't touch your woman. Let's say the Sabbath, right? Sabbath, Shabbat about to come in 3 hours over here. The sun go down around 8. You know, the moon come out, et cetera, et cetera. So the moon really declares the Shabbat. So when the moon comes out, right? So you should not mess with your woman 12 hours prior to the moon coming out, okay? Yeah, what the brother said, that also proves angels cannot have intercourse because they would be able to be, because they would be able to be pure in the spiritual realm. Yeah, and it's no need. You got to look into it. Why do we have intercourse? Why? What's the point of it? Because the scriptures say don't take a woman for pleasure, right? We're not really, yeah, it's a pleasure thing, but that's not the main point of intercourse. Intercourse is to recreate, is to place a seed for that seed to grow for 10 months. And then your seed to keep going, your house to continue, right? Angels don't gotta continue. They live forever, right? Now that's the thing about the everlasting bodies. We gonna have celestial type bodies, which have terrestrial attributes to them. Because we got to bring back the 2/3. So that's a beautiful part. But we will still live forever. So that's another beautiful part, right? So don't look at intercourse as a pleasure type thing, but it is pleasure. But don't take it for pleasure. That's why you don't want to be lustful, right? And if you can control your lust, then you're gonna control this action of that on the Shabbat, right? Gotta put my phone on the charger. Salakia. Yeah, Khan. It's not the end all, be all of it, just simply pleasure alone. Khan. Right? It has a purpose. It's 20%, Cockman. It's at 20%. It has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So sex ain't for just simply pleasure. It's for recreating. It's for bringing seeds back into this planet, man. That's the main purpose of it. That's why the scriptures say, once again, don't take a wife for pleasure. Because if you do that, then you're going to skip over the woman that know how to cook, clean, fold clothes, take care of the kid. And you're going to look for the woman that know how to fuck the best. Let's just be honest. Because you just simply looking for pleasure. You just simply looking for lust. You being a lustful man. And it can lead you to being a whoremonger. You don't take a wife just because she look good. No, you take a wife because she got wifely tendencies. She's supposed to be a wife. All right? And we got to leave that flesh. Because your flesh is going to be like, yeah, she bad as hell. Right? She bad as hell. But she ain't got no understanding. She ain't got no wisdom about her. She don't even know to cook the eggs last. Bitch, cook the eggs first, then cook the pancakes. Then you get the eggs, they be cold as hell. Like, what is she doing? What did her mother teach her? Nothing. All right? So you got to check these red flags, man. The brother said, man, once you really understand it, yeah, it changes your whole perception of dealing with women as well. Khan. The brother Dargabar was saying that yesterday, man. You come to this truth. You love your woman a different way. You don't love her how you did in the world. You love her a totally different way. Because you left that simp mindset. You left that, baby, I'ma please you, whatever, happy wife, happy life. No, it's totally different. All right? It's totally different. Okay? So get that understanding. That's key, man. So once again, the Shabbat is to refrain from pleasure. So refrain from intercourse. And hey, we got 2 Shabbats back to back, right? Some of y'all brothers, y'all wives, her cycle might have came on. So you ain't mess with her in 6 days. Cause when the cycle comes, she's unclean. So you can't mess with her during her cycle. I don't care if she stopped bleeding on the 2nd day. You still can't touch her for another 5 days. Okay? If brothers haven't been taught that. Right? So, hey, let's say her cycle came, boom, 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 7 days. And then the Shabbat come. And we got 2 back-to-back Shabbats. So then that's 9 days. Right? So what? Just, hey, chill. Take some time off. Sex is not everything, man. It's not everything, right? It's good to, just be a man. Let your stuff build up. What is in sperm, really? Testosterone, all right? Manly energy. Energy, that's life. When you think about it, it's the ability to create life. That's a strength, And it's good for you to get to your studies, all right? Get to your lessons. Be a man. Stoicism, man. The elders is pushing that a lot, and I love it. Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius. All right? Look into it. how real men are. Stoicism, man. If y'all don't get nothing from this lesson, man, look into some stoicism and get some understanding on that. And what it overall is helping you self-control. Let's get that in a man rule over his own spirit. This is Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So that would be a lustful man. That would be a whoremonger. That would be an individual that can't control his tongue. That's hasty. That's effeminate. That's emotional. He's like a city broken down. All these spirits, all these demons, they can come and attack him. They know they're looking for entry points. It's a hole over here. It's a hole over there. They can get in through this way. They can get in through that way. All right? Etc., etc. Right? If you know, and when brothers know they flaws, you need to put up defenses right there. If you know in the world, man, you used to get women, boy. You used to get them. You used to knock them down. Right? Then in this truth, you need to put up some defenses. You be like, I ain't about to mess with no women. I ain't about to, I'm DMs off limits. Cause I know women might be your weakness. So Satan is gonna try you 10 times harder with women. He's just gonna be sending you girls that ain't never want to give you no play. Now all of a sudden you in the truth. Now, big booty Judy is calling you up, hitting you up. Every Shabbat. Every Shabbat. She don't even know that Shabbat be changing days. But she hitting you up. Every Shabbat. Like, damn. Out of nowhere too. Right? Yahawah is testing you. You got to check yourself. Right? And you're going to have these challenges. Now, furthermore, so the brother Yahawah answering the question even more. Refrain from cooking. All right, let's get that. Kindle no fire. This is Exodus 35, and we'll start at 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which Yahawah have commanded, that you should do them. 6 days shall work be done. But on the 7th day, there shall be to you an holy day, holy set apart, Kadash, a Sabbath, Shabbat, of rest to Yahawah. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Shabbat day. So the work part, we in captivity. So understanding that, we got to go to the plantation. We got to do what we got to do, regardless, Shabbat or not. All right? So it is what it is. We in captivity. Yahawah knows that. He placed us in this captivity. So if you have to work on the Shabbat, you have to work on the Shabbat. All right? We also shouldn't buy or sell. Now, let's say you work in a off location, maybe, hey, bring some lunch. All right? If you forget lunch, then maybe fast, or, hey, you can buy some food, man. All right? It's different situations for brothers and sisters. We not going to be over righteous about this stuff. All right? Let's say all you got, you ain't got too much food. All you got in the fridge is like, you got some meat in the freezer, and you got to cook on the Shabbat when you don't supposed to kindle no fire. You ain't going to be over righteous, man. All right? If you have to cook, you got to cook. Okay? Certain things do happen, but try to be prepared. Try to cook. Like right now, my wife is cooking. She's cooking like, what? She cooking spaghetti or something? I don't know, but she's cooking a certain type of meal where it's going to have leftovers because we're going to 2 Shabbats. So we're trying not to cook, right? So it's about preparing yourself to go through this stuff. And it ultimately jumps to you spiritually preparing yourself, right? So you may be like, well, these things don't really matter. No, they do matter because they go into your habits, on the ways that you carry yourself in every aspect of your life. You may look at them as little things, like not buying or selling on the Shabbat, but it's very important that you try your best to keep these things. These are part of the commandments, man. All right? At the end of the day, these are part of the commandments. Okay? So other things like, the brother Matazabak always bring this out. If you drive your car, you are kindling fire. So that's why I'm saying you can't be over righteous in the Shabbat. You can't be over righteous. Where a group like IUIC is going to be super over righteous about these things. And they breaking the laws like just every single day. And they don't understand it. Right? So furthermore, bro, Yahawah, it begins evening to evening. All right? So that's a complete 24 hours. Because I saw this bug out on here. He literally said the Shabbat is only for 12 hours. I said, whoa. But hey, it's crazy doctrines out here. All right? It's evening to evening. All right? Evening to evening at the end of the day. Okay? If you can't remember that is the Shabbat, because sometimes that may happen, set yourself an alarm. All right? Set yourself an alarm. Like tonight, when the sun goes down, boom. That's the Shabbat. Actually, I think the sun already down over there you in North Carolina, right? So on the East Coast, the sun probably already down. So y'all probably already in the Shabbat. Right? So set yourself an alarm, and it's going to change because we have the new moon tomorrow night. Tuesday night, we got the new moon. So tomorrow is also a Shabbat. Right? But, hey, some people say Friday to Saturday, and that's incorrect. They're not diligent. And Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi wants his people to be diligent. Okay? What the brother say? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Barakatah. Brother was just wondering if there was a script that says we shouldn't leave the main battlefield of Babylon, deliverance for the elect, in Babylon first. All right, cool. I got you. Is that like you're trying to say? Well, let's go to Matthew, the 24th chapter. I'm gonna break this. This is the last one, man. Because my voice is really starting to hurt. I was yelling today. All right, Matthew 24. And let's go. Let's start at, I'm going to get 13, then I'm going to jump down. But he that shall endure until the end, and the same shall be saved, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right. So at the end of the day, this gospel is going to hit all the corners of the earth, all the four corners of the earth. So regardless where you at, all right, if you of the elect, you're going to be picked up, right? So let's get that in Matthew 24, and let's start at 29. Immediately after the tribulation. So what is it called? It's called the hour of temptation, right? In the book of Revelations, it says the hour of temptation shall go upon the entire planet, the entire world. So with that statement, saying to leave the battlefield or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go. Okay? The MOTB, the CHIP is going to be issued out to the entire planet, right? So keeping it going. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, that's Yahawashi, in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, the chariots of heaven, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And those are talking about the chariots coming to get all the brothers. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, the four corners, from one end of heaven to the other. So regardless where you at, it does not matter. All right. Most of us do not have the funds to leave Babylon, etc., etc. And we know that majority of our people are in Babylon. So being prophets, right, doing what we're supposed to do, we want to get out there on the streets and proclaim and confess the names of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and try to wake up as many people as we can to help our people, right? So you don't want to have that spirit, that Oprah spirit, right? Because she got a bunker in Switzerland. So when everything pops, she gonna leave. She's never for her people, right? So you don't want to have a spirit where you leave your people in the midst of a battle. You know the enemy about to come, but you fled your base before the enemy got there, and you ain't tell nobody, right? That's wicked. That's weak. We have faith in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So we have faith that this is going to take place, that he's going to come and get us in the midst of the battle. The nukes be in the air, but he going to pull us up and save us. And Revelations 15:2 is going to apply. We're going to watch this place burn from the sea of glass. All right. And furthermore, if you are a wicked individual, to all you wicked individuals that don't believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Ezekiel 20:38 applies. It doesn't matter where you at. He's going to purge you. He's going to purge out the rebels. So it's nowhere on this planet you can go to escape the wrath for the deeds that you did. The only thing you can do, how we broke it down for that Fernando dude earlier, he ain't want to get it, is repent and convert and turn back to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. All right? Hey, Shalawam Malak, So did that answer your question, Jaleel? Who you hear that from? Yeah, always. A yonder bar. You just thought what their name is though. Let me know. Let me stop. I don't even care, man. Yeah, man. I hope you got that understanding that it doesn't matter where you go, Yahawashi is gonna get you if you are of his elect. All right. And if you wicked, it don't matter where you go, Yahawashi is gonna get you. All right. Period. Luke 19:27, slay them that don't want to have him reign over him. Right? If they don't want to bow down to the king, you can't be in the kingdom. Off with his head. Literally. To slay means to behead, if you look at it in another translation. So it's gonna be a lot of brothers getting their heads lobbed off, man. Because they ain't want to let Yahawashi rule over it. Ain't no letting. They ain't want to have Yahawashi as the king. All right? It's these same individuals that was like that back in the day. Right? So, hey, with that being said, I hope y'all brothers is edified. I'm going to get up out of here. And Shabbat Shalawam. Shabbat is coming in. Right? Brothers in different time frames, etc. So, hey, facing the east already. All praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and a Baba Ball to this wicked kingdom. All right, may Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi destroy this bitch soon. All right, ending it with news. U.S. base in Qatar was indeed hit. All right, Iran attacked it. Over 10,000 soldiers is there. I don't know about any casualties. I gotta catch up on the information. But that's news if any brothers looking for something to report on. Okay, Straits of Hormuz and what the effects is gonna be on that. That's more news if any brothers need lessons. Russia and China, their thoughts on the war and possibly entering into it. Yemen entering into it. Pakistan, India conflict, and Pakistan is siding with Russia and China. So what we see is, like I said a couple of lives ago, Axis allies, right? WW2. That's what was happening. You getting the sides, BRICS, NATO. So you're getting the sides picked. The sides are picking right now. People are picking sides. So, hey man, it's about to take a heightened upgrade, right? From Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2, man. It's about to go there, So, hey, man, it feels good to really think and be like, we could possibly be weeks away. But, you know what I'm saying? We can hasten it and we can pray for it. Hey, it feels good. You know, it just feels good. But no man knows the day or the hour or whatever it may be. But it feels good that all this stuff is popping off. But we need that MOTB. And with that Palantir system, which I use at my job, right? All you do is scan everything and it automatically goes into a database. So they're setting that up all over this country, right? So hey, watch me gonna watch. It's a lot of stuff popping off, man. All right, the brother said, they said today if Iran shuts Hormuz, that will cause a global economic crash. Yeah, kind of what I say earlier. In warfare, you want to starve out your enemy. You know, it's not a peaceful thing. Warfare is shoot, and many people are affected. So, hey, let them go ahead and do that. Let them go ahead and do that. Let's get to it. All right, Shalawam.